Hello and welcome to Weird World, where I go around collecting all the interesting and weird stories that are going around on the internet and I bring them to you. All right? Now, let's talk about this. I'm a middle-aged woman. This is what happened when I got a happy ending massage. It was about allowing yourself to accept pleasure and feel sexual without any of the body image, performative, global, goal oriented pressures of a lot of hetero sex. Whew, that's a lot of wording. All right. Way back near the beginning of the pandemic, I had a real life good luck to you, Leo Grand experience. If you're not familiar with the movie, now streaming on Hulu, a retired widow, Emma Thompson, hires a fine looking man to find some sexual adventure. All right. In my case, there was no green-eyed Leo Grande. However, I did have two people working over my middle-aged body. Also, they weren't official workers, though it did involve both pleasure and work. I was getting a hands-on body session, basically a massage with a possibility of being happy at the end. Oh, and it was all on the up and up. It was through an organization. Let's call it Jonas or Us. That hosts retreats in glamorous locales where women of all ages, seriously, all like up to extremely senior citizen, learn to connect with their bodies, their sexuality, and their desires. And yeah, a happy ending might be had, but the bodywork sessions were about more than that. It was about allowing yourself to accept pleasure and feel sensual without any of the body image pressures that go along with general, sex. Getting rid of that last bit was going to be a trick for me. I enjoy spending my leisure time worrying about things like like that new spot on my leg, people who don't text back immediately, and the like. My monkey mind doesn't just chatter away during my rare attempts at meditation. Mine is more of a howler monkey, always on duty, hyper vigilant, and screeching from the treetops, alerting me to a constant stream of imaginary peril. Wow, this one's very interesting in their writing style. To be honest, I was secretly looking for a magic down below whisperer, someone who would force me to chill the out, know what I wanted even before I knew it, and could play my body like a piano, or whatever musical instrument is equivalent of my body. When Naya Neat, the founder of Giannis, mentioned me one day and offered me a private session that night, gratis, I was immediately like, yes, please. It was, to date, the best media perk I've gotten. And I'm a person who recently received a huge box of special products hand-delivered to my door. About 4 seconds later, I panicked. The letting strangers touch all the naughty little bits wasn't the issue. That wasn't the issue. I've interviewed several pleasure workers and came away convinced that pleasure work is an important helping position. You could say that again. Providing a loving, sensual touch to people who aren't getting it, for whatever reason, is a gift. I had no moral quandaries. Viva getting touched by a kindly trained stranger specialist. Okay. On that particular day, I was not feeling super enjoyable. I already had a full-on pandemic body going on. Even though we were just barely, getting going. Underneath my belly, I was sporting a wow, I didn't anticipate that wordage at all. I had a lot of grass growing, like it was an abandoned parking lot. There's a visual. As Emma Thompson told Vogue about the extremely last minute preparations for her role in Good Luck to You, Leo Grand, I couldn't go off to a health spa in anticipation of forthcoming um, non clothing. Nor could I, Emma. Um, I couldn't lose the belly in one day, and in a flash of liberation, decided I would leave the untrimmed parking lot in as is condition. I was gonna own this forthcoming full frontal GD. The idea was strangely empowering, I thought. This is my body. Behold! That night I pulled up to a charming little house tucked down a shady lane somewhere by San Diego. I was greeted at the door by Nanette, who was short, curvy, and warm, like a sexy fairy godmother. She introduced her associate, who is blonde, muscled, and pretty much an ideal specimen of manhood, as well as being a lovely, gentle person. There was a spacious living room and a large wooden dining table laden with snacks. I bet she perked up on that one. I picked at the spread, no kidding, while we had an easy talk about something. Finally, they asked me to go into the bedroom, disrobe, and get up on a table similar to a massage table. I draped a sheet over myself and waited. I can only imagine that's what she'd be doing. When they came in, they spoke to me gently, starting giving me a massage. If you find yourself in a situation where two people want to give you a massage, I'd recommend you take them up on it at once. It was pretty great. I closed my eyes as they introduced elements of sensation play, always asking permission first. There were scarves draped up my thighs, a little wheeled toy with pokey things. I needed to stay in the moment and really focus on the sensations. I don't know if they did that then, they probably had to blindfold you. I closed my eyes, but what I'm used to. Somebody eventually started touching me where the bathing suit covers. There were some consensual flicks of a flogger. Okay. And the introduction of a rear plug. Interesting. It's odd that I can't remember the specifics of who was touching where. Otherwise, I could give you a play-by-play like bishop to e5. What does stand out is that it was dawning on me that I wasn't even close to having a release. And I, ridiculously, as I know this, felt like I should, like it would be polite to do so. And it felt absurd that it wasn't happening. I was being stroked and lavishly attended to by two gorgeous, sensual, shall we say, and attentive people. But I was lying there wondering if their hands were getting sore and they were regretting doing this for free. So there I was, naked. The stimulation increasingly amped up and still not having release. Eventually, 2 minutes, 700 years, they brought out the big guns. Dun dun dun! The hallowed magic wand. La! Hermione! If you're not familiar, the wand is a giant play toy. That's pretty much a jackhammer for the lady parts. If there ever was a massaging device that could easily be converted to a gas powered ripcord and all, it would be the wand. They applied the wand, but my body would not succumb. I felt my monkey mind, oh boy, blocking the insistent gyrations of my electric wand. Oh boy, it's still not happening. I thought, which for the record is pretty low on the list of stimulating thoughts. Then it dawned on me. I thought about my best romantic endeavor ever, and how raw chemistry goes a hell of a long way towards arousal. Yes, the simple biological manipulation of body parts is a huge part of fun, but it's just one part of a complex mix of lust, chemicals, sense, and the almost divine touch of someone who really does it for you. Yeah, I would imagine it would. I know it works for me. In the particular appeal of a partner's, different parts of their body. In this case, all manner of diligent rubbing wasn't going to be enough. It's the same reason. Oh boy, just Google this one. A glory emptiness wouldn't appeal to me. I'd need some backstory. You want to know who and what and where and what's going on. Here, I couldn't just lie down on the massage table thing. Well, yeah, I can get away with this. Spread my legs and get lost in it. In discussing the problems of intimacy in How to Think More About Intimacy, the Delightful School of Life co-founder wrote, great intimacy, like happiness more generally, may be the precious and sublime exception. During our most fortunate encounters, it is rare for us to appreciate how privileged we are. It is only as we get older and look back repeatedly in nostalgia. Wow. He wants to use 50-cent words. Repeatedly and nostalgically to a few erotic episodes that we start to realize with what stinginess nature extends her gifts to us, and therefore what an extraordinary and rare achievement of biology, psychology, and timing, satisfying really is. But I digress. Through all this, though, wand was determinedly buzzing away, perhaps puzzled. I doubt it. Not understanding why I was resisting his charms. I don't know what to do. So finally, I mentally pulled up the image of my favorite video. If you must know, it's the... Oh, jeez, it's going to get into particulars. If you must know, it's the one with the two college guys get too who get too aroused and simply must pleasure each other immediately. Eventually, less being swept away by inevitability and more, I will make this happen, a la Annette Bening. I will sell this house today in American Beauty. I have the happy ending I was looking for. Check. Not huge, but it was there. Hey, way to ruin goalless pleasure with a goal self. Once this pleasureful part was done, we moved back out of the living room. I sat on a couch, and Annette and Rod settled in on each side. They snuggled in close and handed me an exceptionally good popsicle. We talked about what had gone down and how it was for me. Rod suggested I give the plug another try sometime. I had another popsicle. Whatever. It was an A+ for aftercare. In the end, I still completely support this kind of work. If you can lie back and enjoy being attended to by two eager people, get your butt on that table. Statistically, it's likely that you dig it. Multi-partner pleasure is most common fantasy, according to Justin Lemur's Tell Me What You Want. For me and my howler monkey mind, though, the most thorough pleasure of the night was the mind pleasure I gave myself. It wasn't ideal, but lessons were learned. Pleasure with another person who hotly desires you as much as you desire them is a rare and beautiful thing. Yes, it is. This was not, but it didn't need to be that. It occupied a different space. In this space, you can be sensual without worrying about pleasing another. Or you can worry about it anyways. And that feels important. You can go to this place, go really deep, pleasurably, and emotionally with two other people. Then be on your merry way with no emotional reverb, not giving a crap. You might even get some popsicles out of the deal. Woohoo! All right. Well, there's that. There's a story about a woman trying to be able to experiment and try and be able to find, open up her her options. Although, of course, it doesn't sound like that, or she will really be happy to do it again because she didn't really get much out of it. But, hey, it's an interesting story. And some people, I'm sure, and so will actually get some really good, interesting thoughts about this and possibly try it or who knows what. So, but it's an interesting story no matter what. All right, then, everybody. Like, share, and comment below, and I'll be getting with you again later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.